Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Amy, your independent Scentsy consultant with Happily Scented Life, and I am back with my chop and chat. So if you don't know anything about the chop and chat that's done through the wax community, some vendor wax is in loaf form, tub foam, souffle, things like that. So sometimes they do these like chit chatty videos where you guys can ask questions and things like that as I'm chopping my wax. So if you can see right here, I have a lot. I picked out a lot of vendors and some Scentsy bricks that I wanted to chop up just so that they're already in pieces. I can just plug them into the warmers, ready, set, go. And this is what I kind of want to warm for like the next like 3 weeks to a month for vendor wax. I do warm Scentsy and I do warm vendor wax. So I'm out of work. Jammies, hair up into a ponytail. I usually do a messy bun, but today I did a ponytail just because it wasn't working. And if you're a 90s kid like me, you know how infuriating it is to not get your bun right and to have bumps. I hate it. So I just said, screw it, it's going up into the ponytail. I've got my Diet Pepsi of choice, and I don't have like a fancy little, you know, chopping board. And I don't even have I don't even have a crinkle cutter like you guys have. I just have this thing that I found in my kitchen drawer. And honestly, it looks questionable. It looks like something Breaking Bad would have. But anyway, so I'm just going to use that because I don't want to use any of my knives or anything like that. So, all right. We're just going to get situated here. And I do have the questions up here that you guys had asked about. I don't think, do I want to focus it down? Maybe I can do that. Hold on. All right, so I think this is how I want to do it because I just don't want you guys to have to sit there and look at my fupa all day. So this is what we're going to do. All right, so hopefully that's not too bad. All right. So what am I going to chop first? I am going to chop Melting Memories, banana frosting, and walnut raisin bread. I picked this up back in January. I believe it was one of her winter pre-orders. And it is a good banana scent. I get more of like the walnut raisin bread than I do banana with this one. So it is a good like bakery to have for like the beginning of fall and things like that. So Daydreamer90 asked, and this person has like 5 different questions, so I'll try to answer all of them. Do you have any recommendations for a first-time buyer of vendor wax? So I guess my recommendations would be go into it slow. Don't fall into the rabbit hole that is vendor wax because you can get overwhelmed pretty dang quickly. So what I would suggest to do is definitely use YouTube as a guide. Maybe check in with some of your favorite wax YouTubers. And I'm just throwing this wax everywhere. Maybe this isn't the best cutter. I don't know. Check them out. See like what they recommend, what they haul, things like that. I would also really research the companies because some companies, you know, they may only offer pre-orders and RTSs. Some of them do like, you know, ready to ship on their website, things like that. So I don't know how I'm going to put this back in here. How do you guys do this? Oh my goodness. I am struggling so hard right now. Okay, I can understand why people hate chopping. Oh my God. This is ridiculous. Okay, I was not paying attention to how I was cutting this. I don't even think that's the right way. Is that the right way? Maybe. Maybe not. I think that is. We'll put it back in there. Wow, this is retarded. No, that's not gonna work. Like, how do you guys do this? Okay. This is just gonna have to go in like separate things. There we go. All right, I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that a lot better. So yeah, so I would say, you know, research the vendors, see what type of style that you like, because some of them do have ready to ship right on their website. Some, it's that they only offer like a pre-order a couple times a year. If you're more into customs, check that out. And I would say go small and only order your scent preferences. So if you're a bakery person, order bakery. If you're fresh woodsy, order that. Don't order just like a whole bunch of randomness, because what I've found is that like for instance, I love coffee scents. I've always enjoyed coffee scents, but there is a difference with coffee oil. And I have found with some vendors, I don't like their particular coffee oil. So I know to stay clear of that because I don't like that particular oil. So I would say stick as close as you can to like your scent preferences, and definitely do a lot of research, see which is like what offers free shipping. Some vendors even offer like reward points, which is awesome. So, I mean, do a lot of research, watch a lot of videos if it's your first time ordering wax, vendor wax, things like that. Then they ask, while we're on the subject, who's your favorite vendor wax? So I haven't dived into vendor wax as thoroughly as other people here on YouTube. So I have tried Teddy Bees, Melting Memories, Lavender and Speckles, Second and Spruce, Sweet Tooth Apothecary. I have tried Sassy Girl Aroma one time with a sample that someone had gifted me. Same thing with L3. I've only tried that vendor once. And Scoopable Wax Melts. I think that's their name. So yeah, so I've only tried those vendors. And really, I've only done a deep dive into Lavender and Speckles and Melting Memories. Teddy Bees I've ordered twice from, but I really haven't been able to do a lot with her wax yet. So I would have to say right now, to date, my favorite vendors are Melting Memories and Lavender and Speckles. I literally have great performance with the majority of the wax I purchase from those vendors. I like that they are affordable. I like that their shipping cost is affordable. I like the style of which they offer wax. They both do pre-orders. Melting Memories, she does do RTSs a couple times a year. They both offer customs, which I love because I am a creative person. So that is something that I do enjoy. So they are my favorite wax vendors. Although Sweet Tooth Apothecary, the 3 that I've tried so far from that vendor, I have thoroughly enjoyed. So I need to do an order in 2026 from her. So yeah. All right. Another one I want to warm. This is not a Christmas scent in my opinion, but from Melting Memories, Birch Buttercream and Pine Cone Cookies. Pine Cone Cookies is a house blend of hers, and then also Birch Buttercream. They are amazing on their own. Together, they're even more phenomenal. And to me, both of those blends are year-round blends. So this is just another scent for me to warm for this transition period from summer to fall. I'm only going to cut up 2 cubes though. I want to finish this one up, so that's why I cut all of it. All right, so what's the next question? What is your all-time favorite scent from Scentsy? Oh God. See, that's so hard to like say for a fact because they're forever changing. So I guess if I would have to say hands down, favorite coconut lemongrass. I'm still gonna go with it. It's been my favorite scent since day one. And yeah, I would have to say coconut lemongrass. I'm a sucker for citrus and for coconut. So that that would have to be my favorite sign from Scentsy. And what are some spring, summer Scentsy scents you'll be clubbing or stocking up on before they go away? So I have already done my club for spring and summer. I was actually pretty selective this time, usually because of the hack that we can take advantage of in Scentsy Club to move out the processing date so you can avoid wasting your skip and things like that. I've already done my club, so I was very particular. So I have in my spring and summer hat club right now, Cocoa Lime, Lemon Sorbet, Pineapple Mango, Pink Pineapple Sugar, Water Lily and Bergamot, White Amber and Teak, Barefoot Beach, and Italian Sunshine. That is what I club for spring and summer. And then obviously there's other LTOs like from the Puddles and Petals collection, and I don't think I clubbed anything from summer. But there was like some of those summer spring LTOs that I had thrown in that club as well. But that's what I'm clubbing for spring and summer. And I'm not stocking up. I have enough wax in my stash to get me through at least spring. So I don't need to really stock up on spring and summer until probably halfway through the catalog next year. So I'm not doing that. If I see stuff like in flash sales and clearance and stuff like that, then I'll obviously stock up. But I don't need to do like a last minute order this round, which is good because then I can save my money for other things that I want to enjoy from life. So all right, the next one I'm going to chop from Melting Memories is Black Balsam. This is a custom that I had done, and it turned out freaking amazing. It's cinnamon, peppercorn, black cardamom, creme, tonka bean, chestnut, and vanilla balsam. It is like gothic emo Christmas. That's what I usually call it. And I didn't warm, oh gosh, it smells so good. I didn't warm a lot of it last year. And I feel like this is actually a fall scent too, because it doesn't like scream Christmas. I mean, you can definitely smell the vanilla balsam, that's for sure. But because of the black cardamom and creme, it kind of makes it like it could be a fall blend. And I'm only, again, going to, we're just going to do these two because they keep coming out. All right, next question. Your favorite warmers for vendor wax from Melting Memories? Oh, Veronica, nice question. So honestly, I don't have tea light warmers. I have a couple from like the dollar store, but I hardly ever remember to buy tea lights to even use them. For my vendor wax, I pretty much use my Scentsy warmers, and the majority of my Scentsy warmers are 25 watt, either glass or white ceramic. I feel like those get the hottest. And if you have an element warmer that's 12 watts or higher, usually that's a good one too to put in, put for vendor wax. But I would say 25 watt white ceramic or glass is best because you want it as hot as it can be. So that's what I do for my vendor wax and my Scentsy warmers. Okay. Drummer Girl 2020. Oh, she didn't ask a question. She just said, hope there's some snark. Well, depending on the questions, there may be some snark. I do have snark to talk about right now that's currently going on, if anyone's interested. Who's sick of them doing these silent clearance update like bombs? Because they did another one today, right? Totally unannounced. No one had an idea about it. It's the 13th of the month, so it's not like it's even like the end of the month or like a special holiday or anything like that. Just a random update, and it was all these bars that are fantastic. Haven't seen them in ages. People have been dying to get them back, like Ocean, Sugar, Buckleberry was in there, Butter Pecan, Mandarin Moon, Maui freaking Mist. There were so many. Fresh Cut Grass, so many of them. So I'm hoping people were able to get some. There's some still left, but a lot of stuff sold out. But I mean, I'm thankful for it, but I honestly think they're doing it because it's canceled clubs that people aren't processing, and now they're left over with all this poured wax. Because if you think about it, they've pretty much, like, they have to purchase that oil ahead of time to make that particular fragrance. And if they, like, do their data like they're supposed to as a corporate company and say, okay, we have X amount of people that have banana nut bread in their club, and if we're going to fulfill all of these club orders that are going to process in the next 6 months, then we're going to have to order this much wax. And you know that they pour ahead. So they have leftover product. So I really think these bars are from canceled clubs, which I'm loving. But I really wish they could just at least do an announcement saying, hey, we're going to update clearance today. Let your customers know. You don't have to tell us what's in there. Just give us a heads up like you do with the flash sale. You know what I mean? Okay. Melting Memories Co. asks, Scentsy Heartbreaks. Girl, I've got a bajillion of them. You know that. I could fill up this whole video with Scentsy Heartbreaks. Are you kidding me right now? I'm going to do my bricks last. Oh God. If I would have to... I could name off like 30 or 40. There are so many. All right, we're just going to do it. Jade and Jasmine, Persian Lime and Sandalwood, White Tea and Cactus, Ocean, Oats and Honey, Buckleberry, Strawberry Rose, Satin Sheets, Rainbows and Butterflies, My Hero, Plumeria Peach, Apple Butter Frosting, Bright Cider, well, no, I can't say Bright Cider Life because I have that in my mom's club. Oh my gosh. Maui Mist. White Amber and Silk, Dashing, Cashmere Pear, Buckleberry Spice. I'm not Buckleberry, Blackberry Spice. Palo Santo and Cinnamon. Cinnamon Roasted Pear, Caramel Pear Crisp, Whipped Vanilla Pear, Lavender Cotton, Sea Salts and Avocado. Like, legit, I could just, Peppermint Dreams. I could go on, people. Sweet Orange Pomander. I could literally go on and on and on. So, yeah. So, those would be some that I can just, like, randomly say. All right. I am going to chop up some Sweet Tooth scents. So, we've got Cognac. I always say it wrong, and my mom, like, critiques me like heck after she watches it. And Pralines. So this one's actually a lighter background kind of scent, not super strong. Don't know if it's because, you know, the wax is old. I think, when was this poured? Oh, like a year ago, 7/24, so not too long ago. So yeah. What Letitia asked, what's the worst smelling wax scent you have ever melted? Girl, oh my gosh. So I would have to say the worst one ever was Casting Spells. This was a old scent of the month back in like 2016. I believe it came out as like the Halloween scent that year. Horrible. That's where my hate for Nashi Pear originated. I got that bar in 2022 because it came back for Bring Back My Bar. People actually voted this scent back, and I could not believe it after I smelled it. So I bought it because I thought I would absolutely love it. Yeah, nope. I got that bar in, and I sniffed that thing, and I literally gagged. It was so bad. It was like fermented, rotten fruit just sitting on your front porch, basking in the sun. Oh my, nope. No, that part is so wrong. So that would have to be the worst smelling scent ever. And I really haven't come across a vendor scent that is even to that caliber where I'd be like completely disgusted by it. Scentsy is the only person that does that to me. And then she also asked, what type of scents are your favorite and what are your worst? So my favorite scent categories would have to be citrus, woodsy, laundry, bakery, that type of thing. And the ones I don't like the least is probably the body care, like perfume dupe, even though I am starting to enjoy amber a lot more, and fruity. I like fruit, but it's not my favorite. Like, it has to be like fruit mixed with something, like fruit with citrus, fruit with floral, fruit with bakery. It can't just be fruit on its own unless it's extremely well blended. So, and there's only very few that I like. All right, another one from Sweet Tooth is Beach Date. I do want to try to finish this one off. This is a really good summer one. It's got marshmallow, summer air, and s'mores. So I'm just going to chop this all up. And this one lasts days in my house, guys. I don't know if anybody else has tried this, but it literally lasts days in my house. And oh my gosh, it's so good. I cannot wait until 2026 when I can actually order from a new vendor, and I'm definitely going to be placing an order with Sweet Tooth because I definitely want to get more of this, and I do want to try some of her other scents. So yeah, definitely what I want to do. Okay. Mindy Melts, what are your top 3 Scentsy mixes for fall, winter, holiday? And then her second question is, what is my favorite coffee brand? So for fall, winter, I've got a couple. So one of my all-time favorite mixes to do in the fall would be a direct mix of Around the Campfire, vanilla bean buttercream, and pumpkin marshmallow. Unfortunately, 2 of the 3 of those scents are retired, so unless you have pumpkin marshmallow or Around the Campfire in your arsenal, you won't be able to do that mix. But it is one of my absolute favorites. I love doing it in the fall. It's just so awesome. So that is one of my favorites that I like to do in the fall. And then one of my mixes that I like to do in the winter time would be Black Forest Pine and Cozy Kitchen. That is another one of my go-to mixes. Absolutely have to do it every year. Does not matter. Sweet Tooth scents. Again, French toast. Best French toast ever. So Heather's French toast, top notch, and then Veronica from Melting Memories, her French toast is even better. They're like top tier. So I definitely would like to warm some of this, and it's a good year-round bakery too. So I'm probably gonna chop that up. Probably not gonna chop all of it. I'll probably just do like these 2 chunks. Put the rest in there. And then what's my favorite coffee brand? Oh God, Dunkin'. I would have to say, yeah, for like restaurant coffee, Dunkin' for sure. I've been a Dunkin' girl since I was 9 years old. When coffee culottes came out in the early 90s, I had a job to do as the eldest child, and I would have to go get my mother coffee culottes after school and bring them home because, you know, I walked everywhere when I was a kid, so I was always going by a Dunkin', and I remember drinking them too with my mom. Absolutely love coffee culottes. So that's where my Dunkin' like obsession started, and then it just continued from there. So that's for like restaurant coffee. For like at home brewing, Folgers Black Silk. That's my favorite. Honestly, I'll drink anything except for donut shop coffee. I hate donut shop coffee. It just tastes disgusting. And I think it's just because I was like forced to drink it so much at my old corporate job because that's all she would buy because it was the cheapest. I remember trying to get Green Mountain one time and she yelled at me, my old boss, and told me that I was wasting corporate dollars on Green Mountain coffee. Meanwhile, she would literally take petty cash and go order Chinese food for her and a client. Yeah, it was never a client. It was just her. That could be a whole video about me bitching about corporate stuff. Okay, so let's see. Letitia asks again, have you ever traveled to Canada? And if not, would you want to travel to Canada, and where? And then where have you traveled in the world? So I have not traveled anywhere outside the United States, unfortunately. I've lived on the border of Canada for 10 years now, and I have still yet to get my passport to go over the border. Before COVID, it was very easy for you to go over the border without a passport. In our town, because it's a border town, if you just had an ID that showed that you were a resident of this town, they would just let you cross over the border for a day. It was like a day pass, and you could just go over there, shop, eat, and then come back. But then after COVID, those restrictions really were amped up. So now you need like a full-on passport. Second and Spruce, this is the one espresso, almond biscotti, almond croissant, and cinnamon sugar donuts. So I have yet to, and I do really want to make it a point this year to get passports for myself and my kids. So that way, come next summer, we can take full advantage of going across the border and doing the things over there. Because there's an aquarium over there. It's like, I think it's called like Fundy Bay, something like that. There's an aquarium, and if you go like an hour north, you get closer to like Fredericton and St. John, and there's a huge mall there, Toys R Us, all kinds of different stuff to do. Definitely would love to do that. I'd love to visit Prince Edward Island. That's always been on my bucket list to do. And I would love, love, love to be able to go over to Nova Scotia, because I'm actually like from there. My great grandmother, the one that I always say smells like white tea and cactus from Scentsy, she was born in Nova Scotia, and I think she immigrated to the States when she was like 17 or 18 or something like that. Her and her sisters. So yeah, so she's actually from Nova Scotia. So I'm technically, my grandmother would be half Canadian, my mom would be a quarter, so I'm like an eighth Canadian, guys. So yeah. So I would love to go over there, but I have not traveled anywhere outside the world, mostly to the States, and the furthest that I've gone is Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky area, because that's where my mom's dad's from, my grandpa, that area. So that's as far as I've gotten. So I'm not really much of a world traveler. I would want to be, but not much. So maybe I'll check back in next year and let you know if I've been able to travel to Canada at least. Okay, some of my mom's favorite fall scents. Oh God. Let's see. I know I asked her this question, so hold on. Autumn Road Trip, Spiced Orange Harvest, Around the Campfire, Here Comes the Sunflowers, Disney's Frightfully Delightful, Warm Pumpkin Drizzle, Hollow Harvest, and Gimme Candy. Those are her favorite fall bars. Honestly, some of those I knew she was going to say, and some of the other ones I was surprised by. All right, Letitia asks, one more question. What scents from the spring and summer catalog will you be clubbing? I already answered that one previously, so I won't redo that one. Sherry Carter, if you could have Scentsy add a new product line to the catalog, what would it be? I honestly don't think they need to add anything new to the catalog, product-wise. Next one I'm going to chop is, it's from Scoopable Tart Wax. I think they're by a different company name now. I was gifted this in his Scentsy D-Stash of all things, and it is the best orange scent I have smelt in a long, long time. So super saturated, super citrusy. So I definitely want to warm some, because I think, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this out and I'm just going to chop it and put it back in the bag. So yeah, Sherry, I don't think they need to add anything new. They've already got too much as it is, and they're already adding in candles now. So I really don't think they need to add anything new. What I think they need to do is bring back some of the products that actually worked and people bought and people are mad that they took out of the catalog, like dish soap, like Scentsy Soft, fragrance mists. I would love it, and if anybody is deep into Scentsy like I am and you remember the foam hand sanitizers, I was addicted to those, you guys. Addicted. Like, I remember being pregnant with James, and I literally had a coconut lemongrass one and a white tea and cactus, and I would just constantly use it all day long. All day long. It was like so addictive. But I would love to see those products come back to the catalog, because anytime that they're offered, with the exception of the fragrant, not the fragrance, the hand sanitizer foam, because that hasn't been offered in forever, they sell out. Like the dish soap sells out. Scentsy Soft sells out. And even when Scentsy Soft and dish soap is offered like in the subscriber club exclusive at full retail cost, even though those things have not been offered in like a couple years, people still buy them at full price. So it's just like, why not? Why not bring it back, you know? These people are buying it, like, just bring it back. So yeah, so that's what I would have to say about that. Let's see. Next question. Angie B asks, what has been your most disappointing wax scent? Whether it's because it's not performing well, or the scent just doesn't live up to the hype, or for whatever reason you found it not to your liking. So there's two that actually I can think of right off the top of my head. Blooming Marvelous. I was completely disappointed by that scent. On cold, it is the most gorgeous, like, gorgeous, sweet, summery floral. Oh my gosh, so pretty. So stinking pretty. Yet that thing don't smell like anything. It is just a dud. It doesn't smell. It doesn't throw. Nothing. Nothing. So disappointed. And I tried that one so many different times. I did it in different rooms, large rooms, big rooms, a lot of wax, a little bit of wax, in the summer, in the winter, in the fall, in the spring. Still couldn't get it to perform. So that would be one that's I was completely disappointed in. And then one that just didn't live up to the hype, I would say, is Banana Nut Bread. I've never been able to like Banana Nut Bread. Can't really get it to perform the way I want. And I love banana in wax. And I've been able to get my banana fix through Vendor Wax, which I'm so thankful for. But there is a hype to Banana Nut Bread, and I just don't get it. Knowles Farm Scents, I'm going to chop up 22. This was gifted to me. Strawberries and cream, peach, raspberry, currant, and champagne. It is a very nice fruity scent. And since it's still hotter than Hades right now, I figured, you know what, this is the perfect time to do this. And I'm going to chop up the whole thing and just put it in the bag, because that's how I'm going to roll. That is how I'm going to roll. All right, next. Spanish Halo. How long do you see yourself with Scentsy? As long as I don't get canceled. How about that for an answer? I mean, I've been buying Scentsy since 2008, 2009. I've been a consultant on and off since 2012. So, I mean, I've been sticking with the game here now for, like, if we go from since I was first joined, 13 years. So I definitely see myself continuing for as long as I can. I will ride this train out as long as possible, regardless of how shady they are and the MLM thing and all this stuff. I like their products. I really do. Do I like them as a company? No. Do I agree with everything? No. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? You kind of just roll with the punches. So, yeah. As long as I'm not canceled, I'm riding the train out. And then the second question she has is, I see you trade wax with your mom. What bar does she have in her club that you're jealous about? Oh, several. So she has Bright Cider Life in her club. She actually has a quantity of 4 with that one. So I get 2 and she gets 2. She also has Toasted Acorn and Oak in her club. And she's got a quantity of 2 on that one. So I get 1 and she gets 1. I'm probably chopping this wax up all wrong, but you know what? I don't care. I will invest the next time before I do another chop and chat. I will get one of those crinkle cutters. But yeah. So yeah, she has those 2. She also has Lavender Cotton. So I'm totally jealous of that one because that's a lavender heartbreak for me. Like, my favorite lavender was Lavender Violet. And that hasn't been back in a while. And then Lavender Cotton would be my second favorite. And she does have that in her club. So, another one that she has in her club that I'm super jealous about is Cherry Almond Pie. She has that one in her club. I love Cherry Almond Pie. So good. She also has Dashing, which is a new heartbreak for me. She does have that one in her club. There's a couple other ones too. I can't remember off the top of my head. Some of the older ones that she's got. I think that's it, because she's removed a lot by like accident that she didn't mean to do. So yeah. So I would have to say the Lavender Cotton. Oh, Satin Sheets. She's got Satin Sheets in her club too. I forget about that one because she never has that club ship out. So yeah, so Satin Sheets, Lavender Cotton, Cherry Almond Pie, Bright Cider Life, and Toasted Acorn and Oak. Oh, and she has Sea Salt and Avocado too in her club, but I can get that as a brick right now through club. So it's not yet a Scentsy heartbreak, if you want to say that. And then she's got a third question. I see a cat. Do you have dogs? We used to have a dog. So growing up, we've always had pets. So I had a dog when I was 15 and I adopted her. Her name was Pebbles. She was a mutt. She was like a terrier, a poodle, a shih tzu, a whole bunch of things rolled into one dog. That dog had like 9 lives. It lived, I got it when she was 10, and she lived for 9 more years after that. And I swear, and I say it all the time, that if she didn't fall off the balcony that one day, that she didn't die from falling off the balcony. She just got her hips. She really hurt her hips, and then it just kind of declined from there. But she fell off the balcony because at my mom's house, it's a log cabin. So the upstairs, there's like a walk, like a plank, like it kind of almost looks like a pirate ship plank, but it's like a loft, like balcony. And the doors swing out towards the balcony, like area. And she happened to be there and I didn't know. And I swung the door out and she kind of went like right underneath the thing and fell all the way downstairs. It was so bad. I felt so horrible. But she lived like another 2 years after she fell. So after she died, I then started dating my husband, and he had a dog, Coco. She was half chocolate lab, half pit bull. And we had her up until last year. She actually, we had to put her down because her quality of life deteriorated. She was just super old and stuff like that. I'm probably making a hell of a mess right now. So after she died last year, we decided no more dogs. Probably, it won't be like no more dogs ever. It's just no more dogs right now because we just don't have the time in our lives to deal with like a puppy, or even if we adopted an older dog, which I'm totally open for because I've done that all my life. We just don't have the capacity to, do walks, and what happens if we're camping, all week. Who's going to watch the dog, and who's going to come over and feed it, and you know, I'm at work all day, he's away at, you know, it just doesn't fit right now. It just does not fit. So we decided no. So then 2 years ago, I got cats. And I swore I was never going to have another cat in my life because I always had cats growing up, and then I went 13 years before getting the 2 cats that we have now. So I waited long enough. And those are a handful at best. So, okay. Holly Ford, do you think Heidi and Orville warm Scentsy in their house? No. I don't think they do. I think they may on occasion, but they're not warming wax, and they're not wax enthusiasts like we all are. Oh, Teddy B's Black Flame Candle. Flannel type, crackling firewood, and warm vanilla sugar. This one, it's not a winter scent. At least to me, it doesn't smell that way. I'm going to chop up the whole thing and just get rid of this because, as you can see, the thing's cracked, the little tin. So, all right. So yeah, I don't think they warm it as much as all of us warm wax in our house. I think they probably just warm it on occasion because honestly, at the end of month lives, it seems like they don't even know about scents. Like, they're like, oh, what does this one smell like? It's like they're super surprised by it. And it's like, well, shouldn't you like know everything? Like, I know they took a step back, and I know Dan's like the president and CEO or anything of the company now, but it's like, you would think that they would still have an idea of what's going to be offered through their company. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Sherry Cotter asks, do your kids and husband like fragrance too? And if so, what are some of their favorite scents? So my husband hates fragrance. He can't stand it. He would rather the house just smell like air. So luckily he works away from the home 5 days, sometimes 6 days a week. So on the days that he is not here and working, I just warm what my little happy heart wants. And then when he's home, I'll usually just not warm anything, or I'll do like a light background scent. And usually it's something that's like, I don't know, like vanilla based, I guess. Not anything too harsh or anything like that. My sons really don't care. I mean, Jax grew up with Scentsy. Like, he knows what my Scentsy bars are. He knows what my Scentsy warmers are. He always asks to sniff bars and stuff like that. This is my little one, my 4-year-old. But he don't care. Like, he doesn't have a preference. He just sniffs everything. It's like, oh, it smells so good. Oh, it smells so good. So he doesn't care. James has no idea what's even going on, but because he loves apple scents and fruity scents, I try to just warm those in his room, just so that way I'm not warming something that he doesn't like. I have noticed sometimes if I'm using his room to like test wax out, like when I'm doing Bring Back My Bar or like a larger LTO collection or what have you, I have noticed that he kind of like wrinkles his nose up a little bit to certain scents, like laundry, anything with like bergamot in it. So I try not to do that in his room either. But Caroline loves wax, and she's not as good as changing out wax. Like, she doesn't change it out every day. She'll put something in her warmers, and then it'll be like 5 days later she'll remember to change it out. But her favorite scent is Around the Campfire. Also sugar cookie, whipped frosting, cotton candy cookie, berry bubble blue, bubble gum, root beer float. Oh, and what's the other one that she really, really liked? It came out a few years ago. Well, this most recent Bring Back My Bar, she really did like the Candy Dandy and the Strawberry Taffy. But there was another scent. It was another like fruity scent that she really, really liked, and I can't remember what it was. It'll come to me. But Around the Camp, if you were to ask her, she would probably say Around the Campfire and Sugar Cookie would be like her top 2. So, all right. And then the rest that are in, oh wait, no, I do have a Lavender and Speckles. So Lavender and Speckles, this is either North or South Downs. I can't remember which one it is, but It's not called this. We used it for the English Countryside sampler that I collaborated with Beth on. It was a custom that somebody had done. So it's Pikes Peak Roasted Pine Cone and Vanilla Birch. So this is the last that I have from that English Countryside sampler. And this is in her olive oil wax, which is super soft. I typically don't like the olive oil wax because it is soft. I just prefer Beth's shapes, to be honest. So I'm just trying to use this up. And we're going to get rid of that too. All right, next question. Have you traveled abroad anywhere? No, I have not, unfortunately. But Canada would be my first choice because it is just so close. And it would probably be very inexpensive for me to do that. Okay, CM Bannon, or Mo Bannon. I've seen a lot of vendor wax in tubs, souffles, snap bars, and some scoopable wax. Do you notice a difference in scent strength or longevity between these variations of texture and packaging? Does it change the dynamic of the scent, say snap bar versus tub or scoopable versus souffle? And is it always a good idea with vendor waxes to let them cure? Okay, so yes, so vendor wax does come in all different shapes and sizes, different formulas of wax, stuff like that. Now, if I was to, I find the snap bars and like clam bars and stuff like that, like the harder wax, for me, those do better in my home. And I don't know if it's because of the climate that I live in, the house that, you know, my house is old, it's 2-story. I don't know if that's why, but I find that the harder wax does work better than the softer wax. And I mean, for like Lavender and Speckles, like her shape bags are the harder wax, and then her tubs and souffles and loaves are the olive oil. And then her snap bars and her clamshells are the same wax as the shape bags. So for me, for Lavender and Speckles, I would prefer snap bars, clamshells, and shape bags because it's all that harder wax versus the olive oil, which comes in the loaves, the souffles, and the tubs. For Teddy Bees, I haven't seen a difference. Granted, she doesn't offer anything in snap bars or clamshells. She just does tubs, souffles, and loaves. So yeah, so I mean, I don't see a difference other than one vendor that I order from. There is a significant difference with the amount of throw and strength when it comes to her two separate offerings. Let's see. I'm not sure because I haven't really bought the same scent in both variations to really do like a comparison. So I really don't have an answer for this, but I do think that it is a good idea to let vendor wax cure. Now, some vendors are good to go, like Melting Memories. She pours her wax and it's good and ready. It is literally good and ready the day that you get it in the mail. You can pop that in your warmer and it's good to go. Obviously, there's some scent oils like vanilla, marshmallow, stuff that's bakery based, that the longer it sits, the better it gets because it just that scent oil itself does mature and get better over time. But most vendors will have like their, you know, watch time or cure time for their wax or whatever. So I try to like go by what the vendor says, but then also go by what other people are doing in the wax community that order that wax a lot. Like for Teddy Bees, it's so subjective. Like some people swear to let her stuff cure for a year. Other people say it's good to go. Other people say 6 months. Me, with Teddy Bees, I wait about 6 months. I initially try it out half the time, like the minute I get it. And then other times I do let it sit. But that's just me. But I always think it's just good to go with the vendor. If you have any questions, you can always ask the vendor yourself. I mean, most of them are very, very customer service oriented. So they'll, you know, answer any questions that you have and stuff like that. All right, Gina. Is there any scent your husband loves? Nope, not a one. He used to love bakery and Christmas tree scents, and then I don't know what happened. No idea. Teddy B's Earth. I love Petrichor. This literally smells like Miracle-Gro potting soil. Letitia, what are your favorite hobbies to do besides collecting wax? Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, so if anyone doesn't know, hi. I have undiagnosed ADHD. So for me, my hobbies change on the drop of a hat. Like, I will hyper focus on a hobby, get all the things that you need for that hobby, go all in, and then after like 2 weeks, I'm over it. Okay? It's been like that my whole life. I'm not mad about it. I used to be really into scrapbooking, like really into scrapbooking. I like things to do that I can kind of get my creative juices and outlet from. So I do like doing a lot of DIY projects, especially with like home decor and stuff like that. If I see something like on TikTok or Pinterest or Etsy or Mercari, I try to make it myself first before I go and buy it. But I used to be wicked into scrapbooking. Also, I love reading. I've been a reader my entire life. I love reading. I wish I read as much as I did before. I used to read like a book a day back like in high school. And I just don't do that anymore. And I think it's just because kids, life, work, you know, stuff happens. But I would love to get back into reading again. I used to love reading. So this is probably going to date me. My favorite books to read are V.C. Andrews books. And I know how twisted and perverted that series is. But honestly, all of her work, like all the series, like the all of them, the Dawn and My Sweet Audrina and Ruby, and then obviously the Dollinger, Flowers in the Attic Kids. She is one of my favorites. Also, Sandra Brown. She was like a murder mystery writer. I really liked a lot of her books. And then I love Disney. Like if it's Disney, I actually have a series that I'm slowly trying to read because it's just taking me forever to read it. Because there's like a book for every villain and for every Disney movie. So it's like, what if Ariel didn't get her voice? And then it's like that story. And then it's like, what if Cinderella's foot didn't fit in the slipper? And then it's like a twisted tale, right? So I'm slowly working on that. And then there's another Disney like fictional series that it's based on the villains. And it's like their backstory and like the whole Disney movie from their point of view. And you have to read them in order, though. That series you have to read in order. The Twisted Tale series, you don't have to read it in order. So I've just been trying to buy the books, you know, when I have enough Amazon money. So definitely reading. And also, I am a competitive board game person. I love playing Boggle and Scrabble and Scattergories. Love all of those games. Super competitive with, I just love good, Clue. Master Detective Clue is like my favorite version of Clue ever. Favorite one. It was available in the 90s and I have the original. I actually had to buy a different version for my mom because we ended up ruining her original set. It got like broken and pieces missing and all that stuff. So reading, scrapbooking, DIY projects, board games. I love going out and dancing and just having a good time with friends. I love singing. The best thing I can do is like, if I don't have kids around, putting on like 90s music, like 90s and 2000s music and just belting it out and cleaning the house is just like zen for me. And if you needed a Jeopardy person, like, or not Jeopardy, but like a Family Feud person, I am your person when it comes to boy bands. So I basically know every fact that there is on every boy band ever. NSYNC, LFO, Backstreet Boys, O-Town, New Kids on the Block, all of them, all of them, all of them. So yeah, I think that's all I can come up with, really. I'm really a homebody, really. I don't do a lot. I used to do a lot when I was younger, but not anymore. All right, Teddy B, sugar, chestnuts, and apple butter. This is my favorite Teddy B scent ever, and I'm finally getting into the souffle. So, yay. Okay, next, Sherry Cotter. Scent notes you think Scentsy does the best versus scent notes that you think wax vendors do the best. So, in comparison to vendor and Scentsy, Scentsy cannot do coffee at all. They cannot do coffee, so vendor definitely gets points for having the better coffee blends out there. And I would also have to say that vendor does like campfire, smoke, salty sea air, beach nights, atmospheric, those type of blends. Like Scentsy can do them, but they're not at like the caliber that vendor wax is when it comes to those scents. Now, Scentsy, they can do, what can they do well when compared? I would have to say fruity. If you're going to say anything that Scentsy can do better than vendor wax, I would have to say fruity. And they claim that's their like best-selling category or what have you, but I would have to say, yeah, they do that category well. But bakery, coffee blends, woody, atmospheric, hands down, that all goes to vendor wax for sure. Okay, next. Holly, what do you like to do besides wax? Do you like to go out minus the children? Yes, I do. I actually go out every month. Me and my friends here do like to go out. We'll usually pick a restaurant in town, have a few drinks, things like that. And then every year we try to do like a couples thing or like a girls' day out. So like last September, we went to the Pitbull concert. So we did that as a group, had an amazing time. We went to the casino right beforehand, did all kinds of stuff. So we had a ball. But we try to do girls' night every once in a while. This is another Teddy B's blend, Jon Snow. This smells like flannel sheets and Palo with some vanilla. So I do try to do that. And then obviously like date night with the hubby, that really never happens. It really doesn't. Because things are just so expensive. Like last night, I went out with the girls, right? And I had just an entree. I had a chicken burger with fries. And then I had 2 Tito's mixed with Diet Coke. And with the tip, and mind you, I only did a 20% tip because that's what I always do. It was still like $40-something US. Crazy pants. Like nothing's cheap anymore. Like I can't even bring my kids to McDonald's because it's insane. It's like $8 for a Happy Meal. Like there's no more value meal, no more dollar menu anymore. It don't matter where you go. Like it doesn't matter where you go. You're spending at least $20 per person to go out to eat. And let alone if you buy drinks and stuff. And we really don't have a lot of places to choose from in my area. A lot of it is like, you know, mom and pop, like restaurants and stuff like that. Like we don't have a lot of like retail chains. If you go like an hour and a half, 2 hours south, then yeah, you do. But so, yeah. So I do like going out. What I want to do is I want to go out and do more things, like more adult, like day things. Because there's so, I found out this summer, and I was so mad I found out about it late because we would have totally did it because it was so stupid. The concerts that they had all this summer in Maine, they all, like, all the good concerts were on a freaking weekday. They were, like, on a Tuesday or a Thursday night. Like, Shania Twain, and then they had a Ja Rule, Ashanti, Nelly concert. That was, like, on a weekday. I think it was up in Moncton, which is in Canada. That would have been the closest one to me. So, yeah, that was on a weekday. And then Chris Brown, he extended out his tour. Granted, I would have had to travel to Connecticut, but still, I mean, I want to see Chris Brown in concert. That's like a bucket list. There was a whole bunch of other concerts, and it was all on weekdays. I was so freaking mad about it, because I'm like, well, I can't go on a weekday. Teddy B's Plums and Peppercorn. This one's got sweet plum, saffron, black peppercorns. It's perfect for, you know, for fall. So yeah, so I wanted to do that. But what I found out, and I found out too late because it was already like past the time, or past the time that we could have planned it out to go. Funtown Splashtown here in Maine, it's in southern Maine. It's like a water park, amusement park place. They were actually doing 21 plus nights, where they actually open up the park at night. You have to be 21 and older to go. It's like $10 to get in, and you can literally drink at the amusement park and ride the park rides and do the games and eat cotton candy and be, you know, blasted. Like, that sounds so much fun. I don't know about you, but I would love to be tipsy and just ride the merry-go-round or the carousel. I probably will have, you know, regretted that, you know, in the aftermath of it all, but like, that just sounds awesome. And then there was something else too. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I want to do. It's just trying to find the time to do it. Sitters, and then the distance. Maine sucks. To go anywhere in Maine, you have to travel, and it's like at least an hour or more to the better things to do. So it's just like, you have to factor that into like the whole itinerary of doing things, like the travel time, and if you're gonna have to stop and stay in a hotel, or can you just like power through it, all that stuff. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that. All right, and then also with the price changes to Scentsy, will you buy less? Yeah, I am been buying less. I actually have been practicing that a lot lately. I've been doing bulk orders. So what I do is, now that we get that, like, you know, planning ahead document on our workstation for Scentsy. Oh, I totally forgot to show you this one. Fig, Rosemary, and Biscotti. This one's actually cured a lot more since I first got it. It's got butter shortbread cookies, sweet figs, blackberry, brown sugar, hints of cardamom, rosemary, and sweet pine. So yeah, I've already been practicing that, doing bulk orders. So I kind of look at that planning ahead document, and then I see like what's early access, what's coming out, and then I kind of plan. And then I also will plan my bulk orders that I offer for customers, my local customers, around the time that I'm going to be doing like a huge order for like early access or LTOs to try. So that way I'm not just spending $10 shipping every week because that LTO, you know, just came out or whatever. So I've been doing that. Obviously, I've been pushing my clubs for the past, I don't know, 19 months now. It seems like forever. I really want to get them in at some point. So I've been doing that. What else? I was doing really well skipping on flash sales and clearance, and then they've just been doing these amazing clearance updates and putting in all these bars that we've been asking for ages to come back. So it's like, well, it makes sense to grab it now instead of waiting until it's available for bring back my bar. So yeah, so I still think with the price changes, now the US hasn't had any price changes yet. Doesn't mean that we're not going to have a price change, but we just don't have any yet. So as long as they keep doing that, buy 6 on the website, get 10% off, and that also includes clearance things, I think that's been really helping my purchasing. This is Shadowlands. This has earthy notes of dry pampas grass, powdery tonka bean, soft musk, and hints of white currant. Yeah, so as long as I keep doing that 10% on like clearance, then that will definitely be helping me out in that area. But overall, yes, I'll be purchasing a lot less from Scentsy and just like combining orders and not having to like get everything the minute it comes out, because honestly, you don't need to. You don't need to get it the minute it comes out. You don't need to be the first person to review it or to get it out on the channel, and I've been really trying to tell myself that. And I am thankful for everybody that has subscribed to my channel, that continues to watch videos that I put out. And it's really made me feel like I don't have to be that person that is the first person to put up a review or put up a first sniff. Because I know that even if I am the last person to review Bring Back My Bar or a certain LTO collection that Scentsy has, you're still going to watch it because you like me and you like what I have to say and things like that. So I appreciate that because it helps me kind of get over that FOMO and stay with my budget. And then speaking of budget too, I'm really going to have to hone it in soon. I told myself that I've been doing good because I have been saving commission. I have been, I have been getting a lot more orders, so my commission has been going up, and that's been allowing me to get things and try things for you guys on the channel and for me to try things. So I do need to rein it in, though, because I do need to go on a budget soon, just because winter is coming. And Maine winter sucks. I mean, we've got heating oil. I've got to see, well, we don't have to save up money because I can pay for it, but we have like the boiler needs to get clean, the pellet stove needs to get clean, the propane heaters need to get clean. Yes, I have 3 sources of heat. Three sources of heat because we live in Maine. We have to buy pellets. You have to fill up the oil tank. You have to fill up the propane tanks. Then we have to winterize the house. There's so much stuff that goes into living in Maine that I think people don't realize. So I have to kind of think of those things. So, and then Christmas and all that, lovely stuff. So, yeah. And then what's here? Are you over Scentsy like your recent customs with Beth? Scentsy could never do as good as those mixes. So, I'm not over Scentsy. Like, I am sick of them repeating stuff because they are doing that. They are repeating a lot of scents and doing like the same scent profile, or maybe it's like a similar scent that they may have done the previous year, but they take out one note and put in another one, and they're really not going outside their box. Now, with this 10 new fall winter scents, they definitely went outside their comfort zone, and these are reading more vendor-like. So I think they're starting to realize that Vendor Wax might be, might be a competitor to them, which they are, but I think they're starting to realize that. One of the bricks I'm going to chop up, I'm not going to chop up the whole thing. I'm probably just going to chop up this first row, Jade and Jasmine. This is why I didn't order any in that Beat the Heat sale or clearance whenever Jade and Jasmine as a single bar was last available, because I have 3 of these guys. So I don't need the single bars because I have these bricks. And Jade and Jasmine, the 3 bricks, will probably last me about 3 years. So I'm fine with not getting any more Jade and Jasmine. Even though if these bricks are offered, oh, look at that. Those already, oh wow, this is oily. What the heck? Can you see that? Like, it's like slippy slidey. Oh, it smells so good though. Yeah, it's like slipping and sliding. Slip and slide. Let me see the Tootsie Roll. Alright, anyway. So yeah, so I am kind of happy that they are going outside of their comfort zone, but I like customs with vendor because then I can just pick out the oils and the scents and the scent categories that I enjoy and then just go ham with it. So I really like when vendors offer customs. Like when Veronica from Melting Memories, when she offers customs, again, I know I'm going to be stocking up on my favorites. And I don't have to wait around for it to be offered again, And like with Beth, I can do the same thing, get some of my favorites from her, and then try out some new ones, or try some that other people came up with that sound interesting. So it's kind of like it's all brand new and it's all different scents. And I feel like it's customizable to me and my preference. And I don't have to like buy a bar cold turkey and blindly and then find out later that I don't like it. Like that's what I hate about Scentsy, is that you kind of just go off their scent profile that they list, the description, and that's what you have to go. Like there's no way to test it out ahead of time unless you order it ahead of time, which some of them you can't do that. So, oh no, how am I going to put this bar back together? Oh no. 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 Okay, hold on. That's gotta go there. That's gotta go there. I'll figure it out, people. And if not, then you know what? We're just gonna shove it in there. Oh, this is like the worst chop and chat ever. Get in there. Get in my belly. Look, it's so soft and oily, I can literally just shove it right back in there. That is horrible. Look at that job. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to cut them that small again. I'm just going to do, just cut them in two. I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So, yeah. Anyway, what was the question? I think I already answered it. Yeah, and I think that's it for questions. I only have one more to chop, so I want you guys to say in the comment section, since we're on the topic of Scentsy, what is something that you wish Scentsy would do differently? Whether it's the rebranding, whether it's the pricing. I feel like we keep talking about that stuff, but what is something that you would like to see them do? Like whether it's a scent that they've never ever done before, like a scent category, or maybe it's like a certain collection. This is Persian Lime and Sandalwood, by the way, which is one of my all-time Scentsy heartbreaks. I was able to get this off Mercari, but I have not warmed it yet. I got this a year ago. Have not warmed it because it looks like this. It is so sweaty, but I really need to start warming it and enjoying it, and not having it just sit in my stash and get to this point. And I think it's because it's been like, 100 something freaking degrees out that it's like this at this point. All right, so we're just gonna do that. I'm just gonna chop it right on the thing here because I don't dare take it off and put it back in. All right, I think I just want to do that. Yeah, because I'm gonna put 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna do it in my living room. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that should be enough. Okay, that's all I'm gonna do. And we're gonna try to put it back in here without getting it. Oh, look at that, I did it. But yeah, what is something that you would like Scentsy to do differently? And is there anything that you wish vendors would do? Now, I feel Scentsy, the only thing I can come up with off the top of my head is I would love to see them offer free shipping at a lower order amount. I feel like with vendor, if you hit like the 100, 150, even the $200 mark, you seem to unlock some type of free shipping, right? And they have the reward points. I feel like Scentsy has too high of a threshold to activate the free shipping. And for as much as that we're ordering, I feel like we should be able to get that. And even if they don't want to like lower the threshold for the order total to unlock free shipping, I feel like there should be something that you can unlock. So like with the reward points, because they already have that in place, right? The reward system for like club orders and stuff. And then if someone orders or sets up a club under your referral link, then you can get more points. I feel like there should be a reward system for regular orders that aren't club orders. So that way you can rack up those rewards and then cash it in for like a free shipping coupon. They're starting to do these coupons with the $9 streaming like consultant kit, that like starter kit, right? So it's like, why can't they do that for existing customers and consultants? Why does it have to be brand new ones that get like all the stuff? And I also think another rule that they should change is that when you rejoin, so let's say I joined, I don't know, I'll use my example I joined in 2012, didn't do anything. I literally could not get enough sales to be active, because back then you had to have $150 every month in sales to be active. And now it's just that one time a year, right? So I could never get the $150 in sales every month. So I ended up deactivating. But I also didn't get to hit like the shooting star and like all those extra rewards and stuff that you get your first 75 days of being a consultant. So I never got to do that. So when I rejoined, the last time I rejoined in 2022, I was like really gun-ho and I had a good customer base and I was hitting things, but I couldn't take advantage of those 75 days again. So I feel like for people that rejoin or reinstate, if they didn't hit all the rewards that they got the first time they joined, they should be able to try that again and be able to, you know, because maybe it wasn't the right time to be a consultant. Maybe they just didn't have it in them. Maybe they just didn't know enough people that liked Scentsy, especially if it was like the, you know, first couple of years that Scentsy was in business, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's something else that they should change. But anyway, this was fun. I definitely need to get a better cutter. So anyone that's done chop and chats before, if you are on YouTube and have your own channel and done this before, or if you don't have your own channel and just chop your wax because you buy from vendors that have it in the loaves and tubs and stuff, give me some pointers. What should I be doing here? Because I feel like my fingers are so oily. I know I need a different cutter than this. I probably need a different cutting board. Yeah, so let me know. Let me know what I should be doing right here, because I feel like this was just a hot mess express, but you guys love it. So that's that. All right, we're over an hour now, so I'm going to cut it loose. I'm going to throw away all these empty tins back here. I'm going to put this in my melting basket and start warming it. And yeah, so this was fun, and let me know what you have to say. And we will talk again next time. Thanks for always liking, commenting, and subscribing. And if you're a new subscriber, thanks for joining. And hope you turn on those notification bells so you can see my next video. All right, bye guys.